me. And she's like, please don't be mad. I really love you. You are so much more important than a guy. But I'm like, if I'm more important than a guy, then why are you stealing this guy from me?
Hey, beautiful, 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 beautiful angel. Love your imperfections, every anger.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. How's it going, everybody? It is Kel. I am back with another video like a month later. Oh my god, you guys, it has been an insane month since I have uploaded. A lot of crazy things have been happening, just a bunch of crazy messes. I will update you about a little bit of what's going on. Not too bad, it's just been me being busy. Literally, I've been working out, like, it's been insane. And I'm still trying to keep a social life, so, and that's really hard to do when you work all the time. So, if you guys have seen my last video, I have uploaded a video the last time I did about, no, I'm sorry. My last video was about Macy's and about my experience working there, and then before that, it was me finally working at American Eagle. So I am still at American Eagle, and I am still the hiring manager. And if you guys want to know how to be hired at American Eagle at whatever position, please go check out that video. It's 2 videos ago. So I think it was about like over a month ago, I want to say, maybe almost 2, I'm not too sure when I uploaded that. I want to say over a month ago, because I did 2 videos in 1 week, I believe, when I did that, the Macy's and the American Eagle. So go check that out if you want to get hired at American Eagle. I am a hiring manager, so I know the in and outs. I know what we're looking for. I know what we're looking for in sales associates and managers, so check that video out, you guys. Anyways, so literally it's just been me working like crazy. So I've been training, I've been trying to get down the whole managing position down. I am still getting trained. Technically, I am still getting trained. It is literally going to take forever for me to be fully trained as my position. It's a lot of work, and it's literally not very easy. I thought it was going to be easier. Totally not easy as I thought it would be. So it's been like an insane mess these days. So it's just really me working like 30 hours to 40 hours a week. We just lost a manager at my location, so now it's going to be me like filling in and working even more hours. But the good thing is, you guys, I am finally taking a well-deserved 1 week off from life vacation. As many of you remember from last year or every year, it is almost my birthday, August 1st, and I am going to be turning 25. The big 25, literally halfway to 30, you guys. I am so freaking old. So that's going to be an insane week for me. It's my birthday week. I literally have so many plans. I have so much stuff to get done. I have family to see. I'm going to Vegas for a couple days, like for 4 days, so that's going to be really fun with my family. I'm going to definitely drink and definitely loosen up during that whole week of me turning 25. It is really the only vacation I take per year, so it's going to be really, really fun. So other than that, it's just been really me being busy, and I haven't done YouTube, and YouTube is just a hobby. It's not like my part-time job. YouTube is just something I like doing. I don't get a lot of views. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I just like doing it because, I don't know, for fun, and I just like talking, and I'm a people person, and I feel like some people do like my videos, so I just say, hey, why not just upload? You know, I wanted to do like 2 videos a week. I don't think that's going to be happening. I think I'm going to be lucky enough if I do 1 video a week, and that's with my busy schedule, you guys. Crazy schedule. So I am going to try to upload a video either by the end of the week or next week when I have time. So let's get on with today's video, you guys. Today I have another story time for you. It's a very crazy story time, I guess you could say. This story time is not really in like my favor, I guess, if that makes sense. So this happened years ago. So this was when I was in high school. So it's been a long time since I've been in high school, you guys. It has been 6 years. So this happened 7 years ago. So, or 8. Yeah, since I left high school 6 years ago, this might have happened 7 years ago, when I was a junior in high school. That's when all of this started happening. And like, this is where like a lot of drama happened in high school. I just want to point out I had a very good high school experience. I was popular in a way. I had a lot of friends. We were very close. One of my best friends was a football player. My other best friend, as you know, Amber, she wasn't like my best friend for a while. We were just friends. She really didn't become my best friend until this event, actually. She was there for me, and that's how she and I became super, super close, because Amber only started out as like a casual friend. My best friends were actually two other girls, who Amber was also close friends with. We were all in the same group of friends. It's just that me and these other two girls, we were really good friends, like really best friends, and Amber was a part of our group, but I didn't really consider Amber like my best friend, like I do now. But I did after everything happened, because she was literally my backbone. She was there for me. I can never thank her enough, and I'm pretty sure she's seeing this, and I'm pretty sure she knows exactly what I'm talking about, because she has a perfect memory just as much as I do. So this story is not in my benefit. This story is gonna make me look like, you know, a bitch, pretty much, literally. I'm definitely gonna blur that out. But this video is gonna make me look like a really terrible person, and I hope no one sees me as a terrible person once I release this video. I'm releasing this video because I want to show people that high school sometimes is not as it seems, and sometimes your friends aren't as they seem. And honestly, drama happens, life happens, you make mistakes, you learn from them, you move on. That's plain and simple what I'm trying to put it as. This all started my junior year. So I'm going to try and make it as summary and short and quick as possible, just to kind of give you the rundown of what really happened. So I was best friends with these two girls named Megan and Helena. I will use their real names. It's not really a big deal. No one from my town even follows my channel anyway. So Megan and Helena and we were really, really good friends. I actually might blur that out, their names, because you never know. But I might not. So it happened a long time ago. Honestly, we've all have moved on from this situation. But, so I'll just say their names. So me, Megan, and Helena were really good friends. We became best friends in sophomore year. Helena and Megan first became best friends, and then I kind of joined the group when I started dating a guy who was in those group of friends. That's how I found those group of friends, in which Amber was a part of as well. So we were, eventually I became, you know, good friends with all of them, Amber included, but she just wasn't my best friend. But I became really, really good friends, best friends with Megan and Helena, and the three of us started spending a lot of time together. It was just the three of us. We were really, really, really close. And, I literally was living the life. Like, I had best friends. I literally was so happy during that time. Well, I was happy during my whole time in high school anyway, but with them too, it was just really fun. I really liked being friends with them. We had a lot of good times together. I'm never going to forget all the memories we created together, even to this day. So let's just get to the chase. So there was a guy. This was in our junior year now. So we had been best friends for over a year. So there's a guy that I went to school with. Because remember, I moved to this new town. So I actually grew up in another town. And I went to school over there. And I grew up with like friends from like kindergarten all the way to middle school. So there's this guy that I met in middle school. And his name, I'm not going to use his real name. I'm going to just say, I don't know, I'm just going to say Patrick. So Patrick and I, we're friends in middle school. That's when we knew each other, and then I moved to this new town, and I never saw him again. And literally, I had just had Facebook. I was getting to used to the whole Facebook thing, and I was literally adding like all my old friends from like middle school and like elementary school. And Patrick was one of them. And Patrick turned out to be really good looking, and I thought, well, I had a big crush on him back then, like in middle school, and kind of like when we started talking again from Facebook, we started talking here and there, and like we were flirting and stuff, so I kind of was developing another crush on him. And I realized, like, hey, like, I really want to date this guy. Like, he's really cool, he's cute, we might live like 30 minutes away, but I really liked him. You know, I wanted him to be like my first boyfriend. And I remember one day I was just raving about him to Megan and Helena, and I was just like, you guys, there's this guy, I went to school with him, he is super cute, like, I want him, you know, I want to date him. And they were so happy for me. They were like, oh my god, like, that's great, like, I hope it works out, like, you deserve it. You know, we were really good friends. And so I was just like, oh my god, I told them, you guys have to see his profile. Like, you have to see his Facebook. So I gave Helena access to his Facebook, pretty much saying what his first and last name was. And I told her, tell Megan what it looks like. Tell her what he looks like. And Helena was like, okay. Like, she's like, I'll do that. So I gave Helena, and then Helena would show Megan, like, literally a few hours later. I think it was during class. They had a class together. So at lunch, I was like, did you guys see it? Like, did you guys see his profile? And Helena's like, oh yeah. Megan's like, yeah, he's decent looking. Like, obviously we all have different types of guys. So Megan wasn't like in love with him or anything. She was just like, oh yeah, he's like decent looking. And Helena's like, oh yeah, same, like he's decent looking. I was like, oh yeah, because I was just so over the moon for this guy, you guys. Like, Patrick was just, he was like a dreamboat back then. At least I thought he was. And so it was homecoming, and me and Patrick were still talking, and he hadn't asked me out yet, and I've been waiting for him to ask me out officially, but he hadn't done it. We had just been flirting and talking, and Helena and Megan were totally supporters of it. And stupid of me, guys, you might have best friends, but don't do this. So I told Helena to add Patrick on Facebook because I wanted him to become friends with my friends, because I thought that would be like an improvement of him like asking me out. Like, oh, that's gonna look even better if he's friends with my friends, because I have more of a shot of going out with him. Don't do this. If you really like a guy, keep it on the down low until you are official. Until you are official. Literally, like, until he's like in love with you and you're in love with him. Like, but I think at that time, like, I had so much trust in my two best friends, like, I didn't think anything of it. I just really wanted them to become friends. So Helena took the opportunity and just said, okay, like, I'll add him. And I told her to do it. So I was like, okay, great. Like, I want you guys to add each other. I want you guys to be friends. And she's like, okay, that's fine. She didn't think anything of it either. No one saw this coming at all. It's not like they planned for this to happen. So, summary, they ended up adding each other. They ended up talking, and literally a month later, like, no, not even a month, like 2 weeks later, I kept wondering why, like, I was about to say his real name. I kept wondering why Patrick wasn't texting me as much and he wasn't being like his usual flirty self. It had really downgraded on it, and I wasn't sure why. And then I found out why. So Helena told me in a text message saying like, hey, she texted me literally at school. And she's just like, hey, like, I hate to tell you this, like, I'm really upset for you, but I just want to let you know that I really, really like Patrick, and he really likes me, and we want to go out with each other, and I know how much you like him, but the truth is, me and him have so much in common, and we're getting along so well. You're one of my best friends, and I don't want to hurt you, but I really like this guy, so I really want you to be supportive of us. Okay, so I was really upset. I was heartbroken because I liked this guy, and this was one of my best friends, and I was just really upset. Point bottom line, I was really upset, and I did not like this, and I was just like, and I was really upset with her, and I told her in front of everybody, I can't believe you would betray me like that. I told her, and I'm like, you are the worst person. I was just so upset with her, and she felt really bad. And she came to talk to me, and she kind of like caught up with me, and she's like, please don't be mad. I really love you. You are so much more important than a guy. But I'm like, if I'm more important than a guy, then why are you stealing this guy from me? Like, you knew we were talking. You knew I liked him. He liked me. And then, and then all of a sudden they started talking. I mean, Helena was beautiful. Like, she's gorgeous. Like, she had like an hourglass figure, blonde, blue-eyed. She was just every guy's dream because she was like a tomboy, but she was a girly girl. So she can get down and dirty, but she could wear dresses, if that makes sense. Like, guys just raved about her. Like, she got guys all the time. Like, all the time. She got guys all the time. So I'm just like, you get guys all the time. Like, why can't I just have this one guy? Like, this was a guy that I've known for a long time. And it just didn't make sense that she was stealing him from me. Now, she wasn't technically stealing him because he wasn't my boyfriend. But I was just really upset about it. And she and I talked it over for like an hour, and she was just like, please don't be mad. Like, let's just continue to be best friends. Like, I really want to go out with this guy. And I honestly was just being the good person I was at the time. I was just like, okay, fine. Go out with him. It's whatever. He likes you now. Let's just deal with it. And I left it alone. I was really upset. I was really hurt. And but eventually they started going out, and they were really happy together, and I could see that they were happy together, but I was just kind of like, dang it. Like, I really didn't, and honestly, I was evil. I didn't want it to work out because I felt like she betrayed me. So I was just like, karma, karma, karma. Like, karma's gonna get back at her. Karma's gonna get back at him. But, you know, it's just high school, you know, whatever. So then they went out for about 2 months. I want to say a month or two, and everything was fine, but they broke up because, I'm trying to remember why they broke up. They broke up because she technically, no, she was allowed to date. So what happened? Oh, okay. She wasn't allowed to date in the beginning of the whole thing. She was not allowed to date, but, and then, like, eventually, like, she turned 16 and then she was allowed to date, but then they eventually broke up because of the distance. Because we lived in town, again, I moved, so we live in a smaller town, but the small town is 30 minutes away of where Patrick used to live, where I used to live too, so it was like 30 minutes apart. So that's why they broke up, because of the distance, and she was really upset. But it turned out like he literally could not make the drive over here because he barely had his like license, and then you're not allowed to have people in the car if you have your license. Like, you can't have anyone in the passenger seat if you're like 16, 17 years old. And so literally it was just not working out. The distance was crazy, and I think that's why they broke up. And I think they were both really upset about it, and I was upset. Honestly, I really did feel bad for Helena, and I feel bad for Patrick, because they liked each other, and I thought they were gonna like make this last a long time. But then I became really greedy, I became really selfish, and I pretty much became a really big bitch. And I just said, you know what, this is their karma. I'm gonna get back at them for what they did to me. I was only thinking of revenge. Like, I was not thinking of my friendship with Patrick. I was not thinking of my friendship with Helena, because Patrick eventually became one of my best friends when they were starting to date. So I was just so hung up on revenge that I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do to her what she did to me. Now I'm going to steal Patrick. Steal. Technically, they weren't even dating anymore, but I was like going to take him back and claim him to be mine, because technically she already had a chance, so I wanted a chance with him. And I never told Helena about us doing anything. So he and I started eventually dating, and like literally like 2 weeks after him and Helena broke up, like literally I jumped on it, you guys. I jumped on that wagon, let me tell you. And he was totally cool with it. He was just a guy, you know? He was just kind of like, hey, you know, like, if it didn't work out with her, like, let's just try your best friend, you know? Patrick was just being a guy. Typical guy, you know, high school guy. So he's just like, hey, like, you know, let's just see how it goes with, let's see how it goes with Kel. And so he and I dated for almost 3 months, actually. We dated a lot longer than, a little bit longer than they dated. They dated like 2 months, me and him dated 3 months. And so he and I, like, I was really happy with him, but I never officially told Helena that we were going out. She had to find out, I think, from him. I think I'm recalling that correctly. I think he told her, and she was really, really upset about it. I think she was. She never expressed to me how upset she was, but she expressed to Megan how upset she was. And I don't know if she expressed to Amber how upset she was, but she definitely told Megan about it. And so in the end, Helena was pretty much talking smack behind my back, which I deserved, of course. You know, I deserved it. You cannot fight fire with fire. It ends up in a disaster and an explosion. So don't do what I did. I said his name. Dang it. Okay, you did not hear the whole name. So Patrick and I were still dating. And so we dated 3 months, and the last month was really rocky for us. We weren't doing really well in the last month that we were dating. He was getting busy. I was getting busy. He wasn't able to come all the time, and I wasn't able to drive there all the time. So it was kind of insane. And then one night I was really upset because I was expressing to him, like, you're not caring about me, you're not making an effort to spend time with me, what's going on? And he pretty much just, bottom line, he told me in a message, by the way, in a text message saying, it was high school, so that's not really a big deal, but he said, listen, he's like, I really care about you, you're one of my best friends, but the thing is that I've been trying to fall in love with you, and the thing is, I can't make myself fall in love with you. He's like, I feel like we're just not a good match. He's just like, you know, I've tried. I thought I was falling in love with you. He's like, but I think I was wrong. He's just like, I just don't think we're right for each other. I think we're just meant to be friends. And he just said, you know, I'm so sorry. I think it's just better off if we just break up, that kind of thing. I was literally so heartbroken, you guys. I was crying for days. I literally could not get out of bed the next morning. because he told me that in the evening. So the next morning I was just in bed. I was calling my grandma. I was calling my dad. I was calling my mom. I was crying. I was literally so upset. And my mom felt bad for me. And I remember that day my mom made me go shopping with her to make me feel better, but I was just not better at all. I was just such in a sullen depression, you know. Patrick was not my first boyfriend. I just want to make that clear. I already had my first love, and I loved him immensely, very immensely. And Patrick was nothing compared to my first love. I think at the time I thought maybe I could love Patrick more than my first love, but now that I'm older, more mature, literally no one came in comparison to my first love. Patrick was just a guy that I dated. I realized I was not in love with him. I thought I was in love with him, and I told him I loved him, but in reality, I was never in love with Patrick. I think I was just abusing the word love. I think I just wanted to be in love so badly again. That I just kind of manipulated the situation. But to this day, I know that I was not in love with Patrick. He was right. We were not a good match. We were complete opposites from each other. If anything, him and Helena were a better match. They had way more in common than me and him did. So after that happened, literally a week later, Helena decided it was best to get on her revenge again. So now she was getting back at me for me getting back at her for the first time. So then she decided to swoop in and steal Patrick. Not steal, but you know what I mean, like take him again. And so they got back together. And he told me. And I wasn't, sorry guys, sorry about that. So anyway, so he told me that they were going back out like a week later, and I was upset because I thought, dang it, like how could Helena do that? But I'm just like, wait, I did it to her, so now she's doing it to me again. So I was like, okay, maybe I deserve it. I'm not quite sure. And I can't exactly remember what happened this next time. All I remember is that I was upset about it, but I didn't show it. I didn't show my anger. I was upset, but I definitely didn't show it. And I can't remember what happened exactly, but eventually Helena and Megan got really upset with me. Eventually, like all their anger, I think, I know why. So I was being a little crybaby, and I was going on Facebook pretty much trashing men. I was really like trashing men, saying all guys are jerks, all guys are the same. And Megan and Helena were really, really upset that I was doing that. And they were just saying, and I was always talking about the memories that me and Patrick had, and on Facebook. Literally, I was just a Facebook junkie. I was expressing all my feelings on Facebook. Again, don't do that. Really, don't do that. You don't want to do that because you're gonna get a lot of trouble if you do that from other people. So, and they got really upset that I was doing that, and they weren't liking it. And I remember they finally just blew up, and they were just, because I was so upset still about the breakup. Like, I was really, really upset. Like you guys said, it had only been 2 to 3 weeks. And of course I'm not going to get over it that easily. You know, I really cared about this guy. I really did care about him. I finally say I was in love with him, but I really did genuinely care about him. And, I was really hurt about what Helena did this last time, because now I knew she was just doing it to spite me. But then again, I couldn't blame her because I did it to spite her too. So it was just a really big mess. And I remember I was just upset over Facebook, and I was just like, oh my god, like I can't believe I have to go through this. And eventually her and Megan just snapped at me. And they were just saying, you know what, you're not going through anything. It is nothing compared to what we have to go through. And Megan was like, my mom is really mean to me. She makes me sad every day. And Helena's like, my brother's sick, so you're not going through anything for what we have to go through. So they were saying that my feelings were worthless because it was nothing compared to what they were going through life. You guys, just because you're not going through the same scenario as them does not mean that your feelings do not matter. And they were wrong in that expression. So eventually we started fighting, and literally they were bullying me on my Facebook page. They were literally bullying me and calling me names and saying horrible things to me. Both of them were just attacking me. So pretty much our friendship ended like that very day. And the next day that I went to school, they were just talking smack behind my back like crazy, like insane. Like Amber is my witness. Like she's heard it. She heard it for herself. They were just insanely talking, you know, smack behind my back and saying that I was a loser and that I was crazy and that I was a bitch and that, blah, 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 blah. And I was just so hurt because I never expected for them just to blow up at me like that. But I'm just like, oh my God, like, what if this is my karma for choosing a guy over my friends, So I knew it was my fault in a way because I should have just left it alone when Patrick and Helena broken up the first time. I should have never went out after him. I should have just left it alone and just kind of like found somebody else. But I was just so upset for what she did to me the first time, which wrongfully she did. I still think it wasn't right for what she did, but I just made it worse. So again, you can't fight fire with fire because you just get a really big explosion in your face. So after that, we literally did not talk for like the remainder of the year, which was like 2 to 3 months. Literally, it was just a really big mess. They were talking behind my back every day. They were bullying me on my Facebook page. They were calling me out. It was just really, really, really bad, you guys. Really bad. It was so bad that I just did not want to go to school. I was getting bullied by my own best friends. It was horrible. And I don't think anything that I did, I deserved that. I may have stolen Patrick the second time or whatever, but I don't think it caused me to deserve what I got at school every day. No one deserves to be bullied by anybody. Your old best friends, your best friends, random people. No one deserves to be bullied that way. And I was just ready to kill myself because I was just so upset because I felt like my life was over because they were literally bullying and taunting me every single day. Luckily, we were still in the same group of friends. We had such a great group of friends that my group of friends did not get involved. Our other group of friends, they did not take any sides. They just acted normal with everybody, thankfully. Especially Amber. She did not want to take sides. Amber felt bad for me. She felt bad for the situation, but she did not want to take sides. She hung out with all of us on separate times, which I was totally fine with. That's what everyone did, and I was totally okay with that. I had my best friend, Nick, and he was on the football team, and he got both scenarios of the story, but he didn't choose sides either. He just hung out with all of us just like a regular day. He just said that was between the three of us, and it did not involve the whole group. So they stayed out of it, which I'm thankful for that they did. As for Patrick, I pleaded to Patrick, and this is where I felt betrayed by Patrick, because I told him, listen, Helena and Megan are bullying me. You have to stop this. I'm like, you are the one in power right now. Like, you have to make her stop. She is making my life a living hell. I told him. And literally, he just told me, that's your problem. Literally, that's what he said. He said, that is your problem. I don't know what she's doing to you, but you need to figure that out on your own. He literally was not there for me. He chose his girlfriend's side over mine, and he knew what she was doing. He knew what she was doing, and he really didn't care. He did not care. He did not care that I was getting bullied. He did not care that I was getting trash talked every day on Facebook and in person. He literally did not care. So he did not turn out to be a very good friend. So in the end, we didn't talk for 2 to 3 months for the remainder of the year. We didn't talk almost the entire summer. It wasn't until finally almost when school was starting that I reached out to Megan and that I reached out to Helena, and I apologized for my actions because I wanted to put it behind us, and I said, I am very sorry. I am very sorry for what I did. I am very sorry for going back to Patrick the second time. I should have just left it alone. I told Helena that, and I was sorry to Megan as well, because I'm not too sure why Megan was mad. I think Megan was just mad because Helena was mad, and they were just best friends, so she just thought I was in the wrong, which I was, but they were also partly in the wrong. But eventually, after I came out and expressed my sincere apologies, they also expressed how sorry they were, and they took responsibility for their actions as well. And they said, you know what, we're sorry too. We should not have bullied you like that. We were so mean to you. They were just like, can you ever forgive us for what we did? And I did, because I did not want to lose my friends, and I wanted us to be back together like normal. So literally the start of my senior year, everything was back to normal. Megan, Helena, and we became really good friends again. I wouldn't say like best like we were, but we were best friends. And during this whole time, Amber was really there for me. and she was my shoulder to lean on, and I never thought I could rely on Amber, but I could. And she became my best friend, more than Megan and Helena did. So by the start of my senior year, Amber was pretty much my best friend. And I literally cared for her so much, and she's probably seeing this, so hello. So yeah, but we still all became really good friends again, so it didn't really matter. Now you're probably wondering, Kel, this is a really crazy story. Does it finally end? No, it does not end, because it only gets worse, let me tell you. Okay, so everything was fine for like the whole semester, except for the holidays around my senior year. I did it again. I stole my best friend's boyfriend. So this is the title of this video, 2 times. So I had done it twice. So, and this time it was with Megan. So it was absolutely insane. Actually involved me, Megan, and Helena. So there was this guy, hot guy, mind you, hot guy, extremely hot, model looking guy. And he was just absolutely stunning and beautiful. And it was Helena's ex-boyfriend. So Helena was dating Matt. His name is Matt. Helena was dating Matt, I believe, her sophomore year, and then sometime in the summer as well. And then they were not dating at the beginning of our senior year, but Helena was a grade younger, so she was a junior. But at the beginning of me and Megan's senior year, and Amber's, Megan also decided to date Matt. So when him and Helena ended, Megan decided that she liked Matt too. And so she pretty much went after him. Helena was okay with it, I think. I never heard anything, I never heard any bashing about that. So I think she was okay with it. I don't think she was okay with it, but I think she didn't say anything. So Megan went out with Matt. They were a thing. They were doing things together, obviously. And then, so then they were dating and all that good stuff. They were a couple, and he was nuts about Megan. Matt was. He loved Megan a lot. So then I don't know how I started talking to Matt. I think I just added him on Facebook randomly because Megan raved about him all the time. So I added him, and Amber did the same thing too. So it wasn't really a big thing. But then I'm not too sure how I got his number. We just started texting. And then Megan eventually started distancing herself from Matt because Megan realized she didn't really like Matt that much anymore because he was kind of insane, which he is. So she said he had a temper problem and that she really didn't want to be dating him anymore. And I just thought, hey, like, if she's not dating him, then I should just date him. Because I just thought, well, Helena did, Megan did, I might as well date him. No, not a good idea. So I don't think Megan would have cared if I had just been honest with her in the beginning. Megan was mad because I did not tell her right away. I kept it a secret from her for about a month and a half. Me and Matt started dating during the holidays. And I didn't come out with it, I believe, until January? Something like that. And Megan found out because Matt stupidly posted something on my Facebook wall that Megan saw, and Megan clicked. Finally, she realized that he and I were dating, and she was upset because I didn't tell her. Oh, and by the way, another girl in our group of friends also dated him. So there you go. So literally 4 of us dated Matt. So it was absolutely crazy. So then she got mad at me, and then because I didn't tell her. So, and she was just kind of like, how can you not tell me? She's like, you're a traitor. And I was just kind of like, what? How am I a traitor? And I'm like, Helena dated him. Darian dated him. Like, what's the difference if I date him? I want to date him too. Like, I know. Stupid. And Megan was just like, no, you're a bitch. Like, you can't believe you did that to me just like what you did to Helena. I'm like, what are you talking about? Me and Helena got over it. Like, it's been like a year since the Hal Patrick thing. And I was just like, you gotta stop bringing that up. And I was just mad because she was bringing that up. And so then she and I ended up getting into a huge fight. We stopped talking. She hated me. She hated my guts. But this time, Helena did not want to be a part of it. I talked to Helena, and Helena said, like, you know, Helena's like, I dated him first. I don't think it's a big deal. You know, she's like, because then Megan dated him. I was just like, oh, yeah. And then even Helena expressed that she didn't like when Megan was becoming really good friends with Patrick when she was dating Patrick, because I guess she said Megan was like flirting with Patrick or something like that, and she didn't like that, and she felt very nervous when Megan would hang out with, you know, with Patrick, and she didn't like that at all. So it was like very confusing, and so she just said that she wanted to stay out of it. She was on no side. She didn't care that I was dating Matt. She said I could do whatever I wanted. And I just said, okay. So Helena didn't care. And Amber didn't care either, of course. Amber was just kind of like, do you do you know, that kind of thing. And then, so me and Megan literally did not talk for like 2 months. She and I were fighting all the time, like Facebook and everything. And this poor girl, Megan, she went through a lot in high school. She was bullied by other people, and she was just a huge mess. I just felt bad for her, and honestly, I think that's what kind of brought us together again, because I just kind of sincerely felt bad that she was going through such a hard time at the high school. And she reached out, I reached out, and I literally was just so sorry to her. I was just like, I'm really sorry I didn't tell you in the beginning. I should have. Me and Matt were still dating. She did not like that I was dating Matt, but she said, you can do what you want. She's just like, you know, and I was like, no worries. And I told her I would never let Matt talk down to you, because Matt hated Megan. He literally hated Megan. I don't know why, but he ended up hating her. And he was just kind of like, you know, it's okay. And she was like, it's okay, like, don't worry about it. And I was just like, okay. So we became friends again. We were not best friends, and we were not close friends. We were just friends. After all the damage that had been done, literally we just stayed friends. Same with me and Helena. We eventually kind of departed because I was so close to Amber, literally, because I think Amber was just my best friend, Nick, my other best friend. So that's how everything ended. And then eventually, Megan, what happened? Megan, she moved away right after high school ended. She moved with her dad. She wanted to get away from this small town, and she eventually moved, and she was doing really well. She was going to school, and then she finally met the guy of her dreams, and she is now married, and now she has a son. So she's doing very, very well. And Helena eventually stayed here for a while, and she met a guy in another town nearby. He was very, very good looking, I must say. So good job on her. And they literally were so perfect together. They are just so, so, so perfect. And they ended up moving to another state like Kansas or something. I'm not sure. Or Kentucky. I have no idea. And as for Patrick, he and I eventually became friends again. He's a really, you know, he said sorry for all the things he made me go through and not defending me, and we became good friends for a while, but eventually when I moved away to Sacramento, we lost touch. He's had like a 2-year girlfriend now, that he's very serious about. I'm sure he's going to marry her someday. He's doing very well for himself. I think they moved in together. We're still friends like on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, but we're not like actual like really good friends, but I do wish him the best, and he also wishes me the best, So there you have it, and obviously you know what happened to Amber. She is now my best friend, literally my whole world. This girl, she's literally been there for me. So I got, you know, she's just amazing. But my point of this video is to tell you, friends, always choose your friends over guys. And I'm sure a lot of you used to say, duh. But I feel like a lot of people don't really know that still to this day, because I feel like a lot of time guys are still getting in the way of really good friendships. And had I not let Helena add him, had I not, you know, or even had I not gone after Patrick after they had broken up the first time, we would probably still be really, really good friends to this day, had I not done that. But you know what? Life happens. It was meant to happen that way. I learned a lesson. Friends will always matter more than boys. And that was like the only two stupid things I ever did in high school. And I definitely regret it. I will always regret it. But at the same time, like, I learned a really big lesson from it. So now, because of those situations, I value my friends so much more. That's why I value Amber like crazy. I would never, ever choose a guy over Amber. Amber and I, we've had our fights, but she and I have learned that our friendship is more important than a guy, and we have established that. We know that. I can trust Amber 100%, 1000%, and she can trust me 1000%. Again, I would never choose a guy over her. And you know, we've said, if we've liked a guy the same time, but if I found out she liked him before I liked him, then I would literally just be like, hey, you saw him first, you go for it, and she would do the same for me. we are literally not going to fight over a guy. Or we could just say, you know what, forget it. Let's just find a new guy, you know, like each of us. So that's how me and Amber's relationship is and will continue to be. And literally, she will be my maid of honor at my wedding. But I think, again, my point is just don't bully. Don't choose a guy over your friends. And if you are going to date your best friend's ex-boyfriend, at least have the courtesy to tell her the truth. Literally just be like, hey, like, I really like your, you know, your ex, like, I don't know what to do about it. And maybe you could work out a situation problem. I'm not too sure. I hope that doesn't even happen, but I've read books, I've seen movies, it does happen. It's an everyday life kind of thing. But I hope this video doesn't make me look like a really big bitch, but in the end, I learned a lesson, and I am not the same person that I was in high school. I am much different. And I am doing very well with my work. I'm doing very well with school. And I have lost 15 pounds, y'all. And I am halfway to my goal. So my life is very good. And I am not dating. But hopefully one day I'll be turning this into a couple channel with whoever my partner might be. Who I hope is wonderful. You never know for what the future might hold. But anyways, you guys, that's it for me today. It's a loose, super long video today, so sorry about that. But anyways, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all at the end of the video, and all links down below. Alright, you guys, I hope you have a really good week, and I hope you have a great summer, and I will try to upload as much as I can. Wish me luck with work, wish me luck with the whole Vegas thing, and hopefully I will see you before then. Bye, guys. Have a good one.